And that's a huge mistake. I can barely keep up with reality, so what's a calendar? I have no idea. Do you want to avoid all the biggest mistakes that small business owners make? I made them all, so you don't have to. And here is how to avoid them. This is the second installment of my Small Business Diaries series. Today I'm breaking down 7 mistakes I made in marketing. And if you're just starting out with your small business, maybe these will save you some time, money, and effort. Number 1. Fear of marketing your own work. Since the very beginning, I was too scared to market my own product. This goes both for the book that I self-published and the products that I'm selling in my online shop. I mean, after all that work that went into creating the products themselves, the idea, the trial and error, the planning, the execution, the choice of platforms, the attempts on other platforms that went all wrong, and yet when it comes to actually marketing them, I'm ashamed or I don't feel confident enough and I'm not ready to face rejection. But here's what I noticed. When you are not excited to promote your product, it shows and people will not buy it. So you are the first one who must show some love to the products you make. You need to believe in them. And if they are not good enough, perfect them and then market them. How do you overcome the fear of marketing yourself? Don't worry, I'll share what I learned later on in the video. Number 2, not having physical products to shoot. When I launched my first collection of notebooks and journals, when I self-published my children's book, I didn't have any physical copy yet. Well, first because I decided to release it as an ebook first, and then once people started to tell me, no, but actually we want a physical copy, I decided to go into that as well. But by the time the product was ready, I realized that, in that case was Amazon, but Amazon didn't ship my product to Finland. So it wasn't possible for me to see the author's copy, and I would have to ship it to somewhere else. So, for instance, to Italy, ship it to my mother for her to check, and then I would be able to confirm whether the product was ready or not. But that's not ideal. And it also meant that I didn't have a physical copy to shoot for marketing purposes. And I made the same mistake twice, because a few months later I launched my small business, so for now it's mostly stationery. And since I was transferring some of my designs and products from a previous platform that I used, I felt like I wasn't really starting from scratch. And yet I was using a new print-on-demand service, and that meant that the products would be different. By the time I set up my shop and made the first posts on social media, I didn't have my first notebook here at home, because mail here in Finland takes ages. I don't know if it's my name, so they always lose my mail only because of the name that I have. I don't know. But it always takes ages. And so at some point I had made several test purchases and my notebook was still somewhere. Whereas the one that I had sent to my mother in Italy had arrived already. And so I could have had some shots of that notebook and started using those. But it's not the same, right? I mean, my mother is not a photographer and I cannot expect her to make any product photography. It doesn't make sense. And yet my product was lost somewhere, and I think that slowed down my process a little bit. The ideal thing would be to first get your hands on the product and then start promoting your business or that product specifically. Number 3, the batch filming trap. Batch filming videos sounded like the perfect idea because it would save me time. So film several videos, or in this case, reels, shorts, TikToks, short form content all in one go, and then release them over time. But here's what happened to me. Please let me know if I'm the only one. Even though I had filmed a bunch of different reels or short videos. I didn't immediately organize them in, specific folders in my phone. And that's specifically my issue, because I organize my files decently on my laptop, but I'm a mess on my phone. And that's where I usually upload content if it's short form. And so by the time I had to release some of these, it was a different season, for instance, compared to the one I had filmed them in. And so I was wearing a t-shirt or a sleeveless top, and now it's already autumn or winter, and vice versa. It looks odd. And so how do you stay consistent and organized with content? I'll share how towards the end. Number 4, leaving captions for last. I hate writing the captions for short videos or posts. I can spend hours writing them, perfecting them, saving them on Notion, having detailed descriptions, and now that, for instance, on Instagram, they removed hashtags or they are not as relevant anymore, you have to craft your description differently so that it will include as many keywords as possible to reach the same audience. But that's a mistake that I made at first, to leave captions as the very last thing after filming, after making, subtitles and all possible preparations. And then when it was time to upload the video, I was like, oh no, I still have to write the captions. So now I always try to have a set of captions ready to go before launching any video. And the same goes for Pinterest. I have a specific folder in Notion where I keep the content related to pins that are repeated because some of the products are the same, right? So it's still a notebook or a journal, and then the design changes and sometimes the theme, such as Finnish nature versus alphabets. Number 5, throwing money at the wrong platforms. At some point I thought, maybe I have to pay for ads and there's no other way to reach customers unless you are on a marketplace such as Etsy, and then customers will come to you. In my case, my shop is on my website. So unless you know the domain and you saw my videos somewhere, you cannot really come across my notebooks and journals either. And there's a whole sea in which you can get lost of ads. So it could be Google ads, Instagram ads, YouTube promotions. And I've tried some of these and they messed up my algorithm on some of these platforms. And so it was a huge mistake, especially on YouTube, because in the end, none of these ads were targeting the right audience, despite all the keywords and tags and stuff. So now I'm trying a different strategy, and I've been trying to be consistent on some platforms instead of all, such as I learned that on Pinterest, you start seeing results after months of posting regularly, and that's something I've been trying to be consistent with. And now I'm trying to understand which is the best platform to focus on for the stationery shop only, so if it's worth opening a different account for that specifically, or if it's worthless. I'm still thinking about this. But the point is, if you don't have money to waste on ads, don't use them until you will have made enough sales for that expense to be justified, and rather try to focus on social media instead. Number 6, not engaging with the right audience. As I said, I've been struggling finding the right audience because, for instance, here on YouTube, I first started with one channel, but I had too many ideas and too many interests, and I wasn't sure what to focus on or what would be sustainable for me to focus on. And that's when I decided to split my content into 2 different channels, and this is my second channel because it contains vlogs, small business related stuff, and that goes along with indie publishing. So it's a bit more of a behind the scenes type of channel compared to the main one. But over the first months, while I was figuring out what to do, what would be my interest worth to invest on, I couldn't find the right audience because they had no idea what I was trying to do on my channel. So now that, at least on YouTube, my channels are split, I'm hoping to find the right people, but I'm not sure yet because I could niche down even more and have a separate channel for small business endeavors and vlogs on the other side. But I don't have the energy to do that. It's way too much work. And already doing this, I have 2 long-form videos per week on top of short-form content and other posts and such. So now with this channel here, I'm showing the behind the scenes of the shop itself, in the sense that in most of my vlogs, I also show you the nature, the finished nature that is portrayed in my notebooks and journals. So you can see where I'm getting those photographs, how I'm taking them, what's the story behind them. And I'm hoping that the same people that love this nature photography mainly, or is curious about educational tools, will be interested in my products. But I'm 100% sure that this is one of the main reasons why I cannot sell my products, because I haven't found my audience yet, my customers yet. Number 7, ignoring the business calendar. At first, I didn't plan my content around holidays or key dates, but each promotion takes time to prepare. So first you have to create the product, right? To set the whole shop up. And then you need to release it at the right time. And you also have to promote it when it's meaningful, when people will look for it. And that's really tricky for me because it takes several months of planning to get to the point in which you really match the business calendar. And then it depends on which holidays are related to your product, which are the key dates for your type of product. So in my case, it could be before the beginning of the school, before the academic year starts. It could be around any time you give gifts. And so this means Christmas or other holidays. But on top of that, you have to consider when a certain country will have a holiday, because that will delay any delivery. And there are some things that are simply out of your control, right? But others, such as holidays that are on a calendar, you can schedule. It takes a bit of time, and you really have to keep in mind when you have to post, and if you can schedule posts or videos as well, that's awesome. It takes off a bit of this pressure, but that's something I've been ignoring because I can barely keep up with reality. So what's a calendar? I have no idea. It doesn't matter anymore, right? And so I forget which are the dates that are important for a specific audience. And that's a huge mistake. So I posed a couple of questions throughout this video, and here is how to tackle each issue. First, how do you overcome the fear of marketing yourself? Start small. Share with friends and family your products, your ideas, your small business. This will help you build some confidence at the very beginning. And then remind yourself that you are not trying to make people buy some useless thing. You are offering value. If I am a writer and I'm looking for a notebook and I wanted to have some finished nature or some nature on it, and I'm a lover of photography, I will appreciate this product. I will be looking for this product. And actually, this is how I started this specific type of business. Because my mother was writing and was looking for beautiful notebooks. And I remember when I was a kid, there used to be so many more beautiful notebooks with nature on them. And nowadays, for some reason, they are no longer available. And yeah, she simply didn't like the designs, and I agree. And that's why I decided, since I love photography and I learned how to build a platform such as my website, and I wanted to make this product available, I found ways to do it. And it's a great quality product as well. I'm so happy about the quality of these notebooks compared to a previous service that I used. And so flip your mindset. You are helping the people that are looking for the product. You're not bothering them. When I randomly saw wooden carved earrings shaped like the Enterprise from Star Trek, and I found a random post on Threads, I was thrilled. I was beyond thrilled because I loved it and I had no idea someone had made such a product. I instantly connected with the small business owner and I found that they had an Etsy shop, and I made my very first Etsy purchase because I had never used Etsy, meaning that this small business owner reached the right audience in one way or another. And I think Threads is a good platform for that. For some reason, the algorithm there seems to be working better for me compared to Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And the second question was, how do you stay consistent and organized with content? The one secret is to create a content calendar. And actually, I've been really good with that for YouTube, because once I decided that I wanted to release one video per week, no matter what, I had to be prepared, and I created a content calendar. And you should do the same with your small business. You should really plan everything, each video, each short video, post, and such, as well as the captions. And then create folders. If you prefer to have your content organized by seasons, that's a good way to go. This is what I do with my photography. I tend to separate them into seasons because that works for me simply, whereas my YouTube videos are in chronological order, and now I give them a number and a date so that they stay organized over time. And I can do the same for short form content. So I still use Notion for all the basics. The only issue that I had was to organize files after I had recorded them on my smartphone. But I can use the same technique. That's the point. So there you have it. The 7 mistakes that slow me down and the lessons that helped me turn things around. If you're starting or growing your small business, or if you're publishing your book, there will always be some little fails, some lessons to be learned, and I hope that this video will help you avoid a couple of these. If you found this useful, don't forget to share it with others, and feel free to let me know in the comments if you made any mistakes, any other mistakes different from these, because we can learn from each other. Now that you know about my small business failures, learn about my self-publishing mistakes and how to avoid them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.